Welcome back to the I Am STS podcast. We're here with one of your hosts, Jeremy Calhoun.
Alton Crier.
And I'm Destinee.
Yeah. So last time we told y'all, we said we hired a marketing intern.
Let's go.
Yeah, I was excited. I'm over here like, I do not know how to do Reels, TikTok.
Right.
But we got somebody who know how to do it.
Yep. Well, do it well, too.
Do it well, and they came from inside the program.
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie. Before we get into this creed,
Yep.
I think that is true economic development.
Oh,
I think that's
big
true
thing.
economic mobility.
Yeah.
Is when the student you develop now becomes a student that you can hire.
Yeah. It's like it's an ecosystem. You know what I'm saying? It's an ecosystem that it should naturally happen either one or two ways. Like either they should either potentially come work for you or volunteer in some form of fashion. And we kind of have tried to create that in some form of fashion from a volunteerism standpoint, not necessarily from a hiring standpoint. It actually has happened here recently, but it's an ecosystem. Somebody come through your program, they come through and you see their development all the way through. What better pitch to a company to say, look, bro, I hired my own student. Yeah. You know what I mean? I hired my own person that came from my program because they were so talented. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that's a telltale. Like, it's like, they say, you drink the same Kool-Aid. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we like our Kool-Aid. You know what I mean? And we producing great talent. And so this is a testament that says, hey, look, we got great talent. You should hire me as well.
Yeah.
So,
and she graduates in 2025, so she'll be available to hire. So look, I know I ain't trying to get rid of y'all, but I know.
That's what it sounds like. Let me find out. I just got here. You trying to ship me on to somebody else.
But I know it's a big bag out there. I know it's a big bag out there that got your name on it. And I know we gonna be a part of that journey. Yeah. Okay. But for now, you with us.
For sure.
In the I Am STS podcast.
Let's go.
So
Let's go.
Before we get started, man, who is Destinee Woods?
I am Destinee. I'm a junior at the University of Memphis, majoring in marketing. On the side, I do social media content for small businesses or just people in general. And I just like to help, so that's why I'm here.
That's what's up. So when did you start in STS?
I started STS in 10th grade of high school.
10th grade of high school. How'd you find out about it?
Through somebody else who was in the program.
Okay.
Who was the person? Who was it?
Destinee Woods.
Destinee Woods, yeah.
My mom works with his mom, and that's how we got connected.
Okay, I'm about to say.
Not too much. See, you're trying to start stuff already.
Clock out. You know what I'm saying?
Not clock out.
Man.
My mom and his mom have been friends forever, and they work together. And she mentioned it, and at first I was like, why am I going to this college? I don't know nobody. I don't know where I'm going. To drop me off by a railroad track, mind you. Railroad track on Saturday morning early. Where am I going? Who am I looking for? Like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
But now I'm stuck.
Yeah, man. Well, so that's it. That is the story for 95% of the students. Right?
Really?
So like, you know what I'm saying? What about like initial thoughts? Like, why is that the initial thought, you think? Why, for you, why do you feel like that was your initial thought?
For me, it's like, for one, I don't know nobody. I don't know where I'm going. Yeah. University of Memphis is a huge campus. If you've never been there, you don't know where you're going, like what building. On top of it, wasn't no signs, wasn't no people outside. You just walk in.
Hold on, Pop. We're going to cut that out.
It wasn't.
We made adjustments.
You made it now, but when it was like, I'm like calling people, where am I going?
Oh,
no, it was crazy. I was like, Mama, you finna strip me off to some strangers? Like, that's really what it was.
Yeah, cold game, Mom. We've made adjustments. We have people outside by the bus stop with STS polos, as you can see.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But I got you. So it was the newness. It was like you just didn't know what you.
I didn't know what I was walking into.
I got you. Okay. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
But walk us. I mean, that's a great segue. Like,
okay.
Just because we are always here, you know. Where this podcast was created to give people the behind the scenes and the insight into STS Enterprise and the organization that we've grown to become, but also our partners, our parents, our students, to let them know that we are one of the best organizations that if you're looking to develop young people, you know, STS is that spot. But walk us through that first day. Like, walk us through how you, like, what got you comfortable? Because now you say I'm stuck. You went from
I'm stuck.
You went from like, mama, you dropped me out by the railroad tracks to now this family. Like, give us just a high level view of how that process for you, how that situation happened for you.
For me, it was more so the family, the uniqueness, the like, normal mentorships or coaches is like, oh, I check on you during school time, but besides that, like, we really don't talk. Or it's like, it's only related to school. To have somebody who's investing in you from school to your extracurricular activities to just your daily life, your actual family outside of that, actually building those connections to really realize that, like, you're a real person, not just a coachable student.
That's good.
So that's what really stood out to me, because of course during school is school. You have ups and downs, classes, people, none of that. But like outside of school, actually working on who you are as a person, coming into your full potential, your full identity, that was something that stood out to me.
So in this journey, right, of being a part of STS. Coming to the sessions, all the things. What are some of the challenges that you faced, and you feel like some of the things that you learned at STS kind of helped you navigate some of those things?
The biggest
Don't
thing,
get nobody in trouble now. You know what I'm saying?
The biggest thing is y'all do not let nobody be quiet. When you walk in the door, not saying that, but like when you walk in the door, you gotta speak. You can't just be by yourself in the back alone. You have to interact and talk, and not just regular talk. Public speak, loud, like yelling at people almost. You just gotta project. That was the biggest struggle for me, because growing up, I've always been quiet. I've always been shy. I'm the type that... I'm the type that if you don't talk to me, if you don't speak to me, I'm not gonna talk to you. I might look at you, I might wave, but I'm not gonna be like, hey, I'm Destinee, what's your name? So that was the biggest struggle for me, but as you see now, I'm the complete opposite.
That's the STS effect, though.
Yeah, no question. You're gonna have to talk.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to talk. Like it's here's the reason why you have to talk. Because we love your authentic talk though. You feel what I'm saying? Like and most people don't want to talk because I won't be accepted for who I am. Like that's most times the reason that they don't, or I don't be judged, or I may say something wrong. Like, and I think the beauty of, we tell our students, this is practice ground. This ain't the war ground. This is the practice ground. You know what I'm saying? Like this is a practice ground. You learning. We teaching. This is a safe space to make mistakes. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so that's the beauty of, why we encourage our students to kind of talk, talk out loud, just do things so they can be comfortable with themselves in this space, so they can then start to do those things outside of this space eventually. You know what I mean? So
I mean, and that's a great point. Like you said, her being able, Destinee, you being able to find your voice, and you were kind of forced to speak up. Like, what about one thing I see like this is no new friends. Like, I ain't making no new friends. I came who I came with. I'm leaving with who I'm leaving with. Like, did you make friends at STS?
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I like new people. I like new people.
Okay.
So I'm not the no new friends type of person, because I feel like if you have no new friends, you're not learning anything, because you learn from people around you. So I'm the opposite with that. And I've made a lot of connections through STS. Whether it be with the Strive program or the Elite program, people that I still talk to now, people who we still see and be like, I remember you from somewhere. Oh, hey, how you been? Like that kind of stuff. It's just it's not just because you're there for the time being. It's long lasting.
Yeah.
So like what was it like? Like, and I want to really think about this Strive program, because we got a lot of high school students, a lot of students in general in Memphis that. Man, parents are looking for them to get into a safe space, looking for them to be part of a community, part of a village. Like, talk about what it was like finding other students going to a program. You met other students that came from similar backgrounds as you, that maybe had similar interests. What was it like with that community of like-minded peers?
For me, it was a good thing, because when I was in middle school and high school, I didn't really do a lot of sports through the school. So to me, to build friends, you have to do something common. So if you're not really doing a sport or like something that a lot of kids are around, you don't have a lot of friends. So it was easier for me to come to a space where I want to be somebody, I want to go to college, I want to do the scholarships, I want to do this, and you want it too, so we can build on something mutual. So that was the difference for me.
That sounds like a game changer. I think we need to market that like your kid out in
I got
sports.
that.
Your kid out in sports, but they still need that community.
If they don't have a lot of friends or can't really keep connections, stuff like that, this is a good way to build healthy, genuine friendships.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
That's fruitful. That's fruitful, man. And so I guess we talk about relationships with students, right? Mm-hmm. Let's talk about relationships with the adults, though.
Okay.
Right? And so, like, what does that look like, the relationship with the adults? Because that's the leery part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's like the, I don't really know you. I don't
You
really
ain't my
fool
mama.
with you. You ain't my mama. Hey, look, you tell me the other day, man. He said, my dad didn't tell me to stop doing it. Hey, man.
I jack you up.
My dad didn't tell me to stop doing it. Hey, it might be.
Maybe that's why you act like this.
Right. I was a little kid at the playground, but I said, go ahead, you good.
Hold on, in the playground.
The playground. Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Jack
man.
random
I told him
kids
stop
up.
throwing rocks. I told him stop throwing rocks, man. Hey, man, stop throwing rocks, man.
Do you fight 4 and 2-year-olds?
I ain't saying
That's what it sound like.
I was directing him. I was directing him doing the right thing.
Too. That's what it was.
This man said, you don't know you're an STS right now.
Right. I was like, man, stop throwing them rocks. My dad didn't tell me, hey, man, stop throwing them rocks. So it's gonna hurt somebody. This just dad in me. You know, so let's go back to registration program.
That's our regular schedule program.
Man, so talk about relationship with the coaches, right? Because they're the bloodline of the program, right?
Okay.
You gotta have coaches, you gotta have students. You know, talk about that because that is the tough spot.
Hold
That's
on,
go
before,
ahead.
tell them what a coach is, because we use a different terminology.
Yeah. So coaches basically are, you know, you got mentors, you got advisors. We use, and the students actually came up with coaches, right? They wanted to call coaches, right? Because one, coaches are very influential in the African American community. Coaches are just have a more, back to what Jeremy was saying in one of our other episodes, like has a cool feel to it. You know what I'm saying? They got my coach, like Coach A, you know what I'm saying? Coach B, you know what I mean? Coach Chuck, you know, it just has a different feel to it. We call our coaches, which would be considered potentially mentors, advisors, we call them coaches, add a little cool vibe to it. So those are our coaches. So yeah, talk about the relationship with the coaches and, you know, how you were able to build strong relationships, both the Strive and Elite program. So.
For one, the Strive coaches and Elite coaches are different to me. I feel like it's because of the mindset and the age, though. Like, when you're in high school, you be like, I don't really know if I can really come to this grown person. Like, to just text this grown adult, hey, what you doing? Like, this might be a little weird. But also, I like with Strive that you had time built in on the sessions to just sit down with your coaches. So that was a good thing for me, too. So it's like, even though I ain't seen you in a week, but we had this good talk about stuff I want to do and stuff you want to do. So maybe I can pick up a conversation and text you. Instead of just be random and be like, I haven't seen you in like 2 weeks or so, but what you doing? What you doing this weekend? Like, that might be a little awkward at first. But with the Elite coaches, I feel like it's different because they are professionals. Corporate, real jobs, real life, work-life balance. So the question that you really want to ask, but you might not have a person to go to, or like a safe place to be like, I mean, my mama work here, but it's different because that's your mama. And this is a person who's in your field or semi in your field, and be like, what do you do once you clock out?
Yeah, come on.
Or how do you, or like, how do you function when your boss is being a micromanager? That type of stuff, and they're gonna give you the raw. Raw. And I'm gonna be like, well, usually I used to. I be like, in my head, why are you doing it? Like, it's gonna be real and authentic, and sometimes you don't want just that fake cakey answer. You want the real. Like, how do you deal with this? How do you deal with schedules changing, micromanaging, team not team, and somebody not doing their work and they fall on you? How you deal with that?
Yeah, that's good.
So I like that because, you know, the older you get and you grow and develop, you move into a different space in life, you need those type of people who are where you're trying to go. So I like it.
Man, so we talk about growth. Like, tell us about the growth of Destinee. You know what I mean? Like, let's you know, let's tell about the. And I think here's why people need to hear this, right?
Okay.
They see the picture, but
Okay.
they don't know what the past looks like.
They don't know the story.
You know what I'm saying? They don't know what the past look like, right? So, what does the growth of Destinee look like? You know, for you and your journey, what are some things you experienced? You know, within boundaries to a certain extent, like, but be transparent enough. So, what are some things that the growth of Destinee that you had to experience, you know, through this journey of life?
So through STS, if you don't know, now you will know. I was accepted into over 25 colleges. That was the hardest decision of my life because I'm only one person. All these scholarships, all these grants, all this other stuff. Where am I going?
How'd you get connected to the scholarships?
It was through my coach, actually. It's a program called the Black Common App.
Yep, Black Common App. Yep.
So I applied through there. It's a one-time application fee and one-time application, and it sends your application to all HBCUs. And that's where I wanted to go at the time, was HBCU. Yeah. So I got connected through that. I paid the deposit, and I was just like, this is overwhelming. I don't know what to do. Where am I going? I'm only one person. What is this? Like, what? Yeah. Now, at first I was like, I ain't going nowhere. This is too much. This is too much. It's overload. I was like, Mom, I ain't going nowhere. She's like, you going something? No, I'm staying right here. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So my whole high school senior year, like, catchphrase or motto was Destinee finding her destiny.
Come on, that's a book. That's a book.
Hey, that's the title of the show.
Destinee finding her destiny.
That was my whole motto of like my senior year, because I was at the time I was taking AP classes, I was taking dual enrollment classes. I was really on education hard, trying to get into these schools, because my whole dream since I was like, I would say 8 years old, was because my grandparents did not go to college. That was my dream. I'm gonna go to college and it's gonna be paid for.
Let's go.
So I had a couple full rides. I'm like, oh, it's a full ride. Come on, I'm going here. She's like, you ain't even look at it. I don't care. Say full ride. We ain't gotta pay nothing, right? So we going here. She like, no, we gonna read. This is gonna look at the school. You just have to accept not random school. Where the school at? I don't know. Like, I don't care. It's a full ride. It's free. Why wouldn't I go? So that was kind of a space that I went through. So I decided when I graduated that I was going to attend my college, which is in Birmingham or Fairfield, Alabama. My first year-ish or so, it was a struggle. It wasn't what I was used to. Not in a bad way, but just like academics, it was fine. But social, like school life balance, it was hard. Because I'm used to doing stuff every weekend. I'm used to going places, doing stuff, and I don't know this place. So you just can't randomly be like, oh yeah, I'm finna go here and be like, wait a minute, what part of town you in? Is this safe? Like, what? You just can't do that. Yeah. I'm from Memphis. We don't go no in and everywhere. That's one thing you know.
I tell you, Memphis kids different.
We don't go in and everywhere. Like, I gotta know a little bit around you, and on top of that, the school I went to was HBCU, and if you know, HBCUs are always in the not so proud area. It's deep in the hood. Like, behind the school literally was a fence and projects. So the community kids hopping the fence, coming there talking to us and playing basketball. I'm like,
straight up.
I'm looking like, am I at home? Because this is what my grandma's house look like. Honestly, you over here jumping fences and like, hey, what's your name? Ooh, you had a ball. You got popsicles. You got candy. Like, this is stuff they asking me. I'm like, I'm calling Mama like, Mama,
come and get me.
I'm coming home. I said this so much. She was like, what you mean? I'm coming home. She's like, why? I said, it's not. So I'm the type that like likes to be involved in stuff. Yeah. So I was on a thing of like, okay, I want to be in like the business organizations or like social stuff, like stuff to do. So it was like you would apply for them or like sign up for them, join a group me, of course, and then nothing happens. You join the group me, and then it'd be like, I'm excited to this. I applied for this position, and then you hear nothing until like a football came up, and it's like, oh, so since the game is coming up, we're gonna do this day, and it'd be like 2 days before. It's always last minute, and it's like, I want to be involved in something, growing something, developing something, and I can't do that because y'all are just so inconsistent.
Oh wow.
And then when it got to like my sophomore year, I had the same professor for multiple classes. That's how small the school was. I didn't like that. So if you got a 5-page paper due from one class, same thing for the next class, because you got the same teaching style. Who's gonna sit here and write 10 pages for no, I was like, I said, I think I'm gonna come home. She's like, why? I said, this ain't cutting it on me. This is not what I envisioned my life to be. I said, I'm not growing here. I feel like I'm stagnant. I feel like I'm just here. I'm going through the motions. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go somewhere else. Like, I'm gonna transfer somewhere else. I did not want to come home. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
And when you came to Memphis,
I did not want to come home.
I was shocked. I know, right? Did you sit out? You sit out sometime, didn't it?
No.
Oh, he went straight to the university. Okay. So when you came home, and we had kind of talked about it, I was in my head. I'm like, okay, why though? You know what I mean? Because it's like the only reason you come back home for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's I would say it's most times not good, but most times it's like something went wrong, right? You know, we had a couple students come back home, and it was for good. They are doing well now, but it's like, okay, why did you come back home? You went away, right? Which most people try to encourage students, like, go away, go see something else. You know, they say stuff like, which is not a problem at all. I think it's really good. Like, go see something else, get some exposure, all that good stuff. But like, I was like, dang, why she coming back though? Like, is she gonna get back in school? You know what I mean? Like, those were my concerns. And so we were talking like, man, make sure you go to Southwest. What we need to do, this and another. You know, and so I'm glad you transitioned to Memphis. So what did that transition look like coming back?
Before you get to that transition, I do want to hit on a few things for those parents, particularly that's listening. STS service is your everyday student.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily
the smart kids. It's
the
anybody.
Smart kid, the kid that's not trying. We believe every student is at risk of being mediocre and not reaching their full potential.
That's true.
So you may have seen Destinee taking AP classes, right? And talented student, smart, but how does she find her voice? How does she feel the confidence, have the confidence to know that, hey, something's not right here. I'm better. Yeah, I like, and it's those things that I think sometimes we miss out on as parents when you're trying to find that village. SES is gonna help your student have a holistic experience. Because a smart student, but if she didn't have the boldness or the confidence to say, hey, my son ain't here. Right. She'll probably still be there. Right. Still asking those same questions that didn't have in the life of what if. And we all know, we all have what if moments. So I just wanted a station identification, parents, teachers, guidance counselors, family members. SES is not just for your smart kid or the kid that's in trouble. It's for your everyday kid that needs that village because, again, they're going to get that holistic support that makes them a holistic individual so they can have a holistic life. Yeah,
that's good. That's good. Yeah, man. So, great point, bro. Talk about the transition.
The transition was hard. Yeah. Because I was like, I do not want to come home. I feel like, I'm not going to lie, I feel like a failure coming home. Because it's like, why? I tried so hard in school and everything to get away from this place. Why does this place keep calling me back to it? I don't want to be here. I was trying to be like, because I've been here my whole life. I've never been nowhere else. I've never lived anywhere else. Like, I, of course, travel here and there, but not like live nowhere else. So I wanted the experience. So I'm like, coming home is like, I ain't gonna say a failure per se. That's how I felt at the time. It was just like, it's not giving. It's not no. So I literally applied for other schools. I'm like, okay, I applied for Fisk. I applied for TSU. I was like, okay, I go to Nashville. And I was like, Nashville? Then I looked at the price. I was like, yeah.
The numbers.
I was like, okay, I guess I'll come home. And I was like, okay, at home isn't bad because, of course, it's in-state tuition. There you go. You get grants and scholarships because of your GPA and stuff. Right. I was like, okay, I'll come home. You know, it's not bad. Then when I got here, I was like, oh, it's a whole new world. Whole new world.
So let's talk about that because I know we almost out of time too, but let's talk about this because so many students, their first desire is to get away from Memphis.
Yeah.
Like, tell us just a little bit about the why, and then you said it's a whole. They don't realize that it's a whole new world.
It is.
So just give us a quick understanding of the why. You didn't want to say initially, and now why? What that whole new world meant for you?
I didn't want to stay because I've been here my whole life. I feel like I already knew Memphis because I've been on campus with Strive. So I know the buildings. I know stuff like it's nothing different. It's just regular school.
Thought you knew.
It's just a regular school. It's something I know of. I've been here before. It's just regular. So that was like the why. But now it's like, oh, it's a lot of organizations to join. It's a lot of programs to join. And my biggest why I'm not wanting to come back is because I don't really have friends here. So I'm going to be lonely, not really have a lot of stuff to do or people to be with. But you get here and you realize if you join these orgs and clubs and stuff and you're consistent, you're going to meet people regardless. So that was my biggest thing. And now I think I'm in like 6 organizations.
Let's go.
And it's just like, why didn't I do this from the start almost? Like, why was you... at this school struggling and like twiddling your fingers looking around. I was so bored, y'all. I went and got a job. And if y'all know me, I don't work for nobody. Y'all know me. I be like, work for somebody. No, I can make money. I went and got a job, and I was there almost every day. Mama called me. She was like, "Why you keep driving 30 minutes away? What you doing?" I was like, "I'm at work." "You got a job?" "You ain't tell me." I said, "It ain't that big of a deal. It's just public." She said, "Publix?"
Man,
She looked at me like, she like, "So when you coming home? This ain't you. You don't work for nobody. Like, this not you." And I was like, "I guess I'll come home. Okay."
You had to experience it. You had to experience what you
thought you wanted.
Come on, man, and experience that, and now you get to see it, and I think you appreciate. I would think that you appreciate everything that you experiencing now because you didn't have it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was limited where you was at. It was inconsistent where you at. And now you got somewhere it's consistent. You know what I'm saying? It's present. It's presenting opportunities, right? And so now the question is, how do you manage time manage? You feel what I'm saying? How do you manage, because it wasn't there at first and now it's so available to you, how do you manage your time? How do you manage? You got a college student out there that want to get involved. They are involved, right? They involved in 9 organizations. You feel what I'm saying? They're president of this VP of this organization, treasury of this organization. They want to pledge, if you will, right? So it's so many. What would you say to a college student that needs to manage that time? How would they do that? You know what I'm saying? Or do you feel like you've done it well, or do you feel like there's opportunities?
Oh, I've done it because I have a lot of stuff that I do. If y'all don't know, Jeremy know, I do a lot of stuff. So I take 18 credit hours.
Okay.
So I take about 2 to 3 classes a day. Okay. And the other ones are online. So when I'm not in class, that morning time, I do work for my online classes before I actually go on campus. Okay. And then the organizations I do on campus, they don't meet every week. They meet like bi-weekly or sometimes like twice a month. And those are typically on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. So I made my class schedule around the organization schedule. So that's kind of what I did.
Came to the students, bro. That be the problem. They be like, I can't come. Why you schedule class? You know you had STS around this time, man. Talk to them folks. We talk to the administrator.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I did is I made my class schedule, my organization schedule around like my daily life. And then on top of that, I do other stuff outside of it. I'm a Young Life leader. I'm involved in BSA. I'm in SAS. I'm in a Women in Business. I'm in a cruise. It's a lot of other stuff, and they don't meet weekly. But it's like it's not mandatory sessions either. So the mandatory ones, of course, I go. And if I have free time, then I would go. But it's not like the stuff that I made a priority is what I do the most.
I got you. Okay.
So that's kind of how I did it.
Okay.
So talk about one organization, because you mentioned you in 6. Talk about that one that you meet on Mondays.
STS Elite is the best thing popping, y'all. Mondays at 5:30 to 8. Well, it's really 6, but I get there a little early because if you on time, you late. So
and you get that food too. You get the first.
The food is always good.
You get the first deals on
and then you take food home because they order so much. Ooh. Yeah. So we normally have.
Talk more about that, please.
The food be good.
Oh no, that about that part. You're ordering too much. We gotta talk about that. Okay.
Yeah, it's always.
We have a conversation. We within the budget. Have a conversation.
If he within the budget.
I tell you, man. God.
Just like last Monday, we took like.
We gonna say we just. Let's talk about STS Elite.
He knew exactly what I was gonna say.
Just talk. Go.
So about STS Elite. Normally when we get there, we have icebreakers. My favorite icebreaker is the tower icebreaker. No, you be cheating. Yeah. And he be blaming it because he's short that he can't win, but you can put on the floor and build it. Anyway, so my favorite icebreaker is the tower one. So you have like arts and crafts, you have a team. So it's basically a team building exercise to work together to build the tallest tower.
Okay.
That was my favorite one. And then typically after that, you go to your tiers. It's tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. Tier 1 is for your first year. Tier 2 is second year. And tier 3 is the third year. Awesome. And you go to the sessions and you talk about it. The session that we had on Monday was about financial literacy. It was a lot that we learned.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely was. And I liked it because you can ask those questions to people who actually know about money. And not just be like, okay, Google, how I do this? Or be like, your mama said do this, so you doing it, but it really ain't how you do it. Like, actually learning what builds credit. expenses, revenues, income, balancing of actual budget, physical and mental budget.
Come on.
So it was very beneficial. We asked a lot of good questions. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much.
That's what's up.
You hit on the coaches, but like, you know, part of it is getting you all away from the campus and into the professional space. Mm-hmm. You had a chance to go to international paper.
I did.
How was that? Talk about that.
International paper was a good experience because my vision of international paper was not what I saw. My vision is it's gonna be like a factory and they're gonna be building paper and it's gonna be a bunch of mills and stuff. I walked in, I said, oh. This what this is. I said, oh, this fancy. This is marble and stuff.
Come on.
I said, what was it, like a whole like concession type of thing with like waters and coffees. I was like, oh, it was not what I experienced at all. And while we were there, we did a tour of the campus. So we saw like the different departments and different buildings and like what all they do. And then we got to hear the mayor talk because it was during Black History Month. So he did like kind of like questionnaires and things like that of like just stuff he wants to do in the community, him in general, stuff he want to change. So it was a good experience there. Then once we left there, we had a panelist talk. We just asked them questions. Why are you here? What do you do here? How do you feel here? Like, what made you go to corporate? Do you feel like you're helping or impacting? Those type of questions. They were just really honest. So that was a good part too, of actually just talking to the panelists and hearing them talk.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think the fact that you just said that you felt like, or you thought, perception that international paper was a mill or a factory or something like that.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with working in. I worked in several of them, right? But the reality is, how many of our students in Memphis, right? You was in STS, Strive, Elite. You seen it. You said another. How many of them individuals that don't have that access see companies like that, a large company, and see them as, I won't be able to work there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not feasible for me.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Like you got companies, these large companies, large, small, mid-size, and the perception is like, I don't want to work there because this is what it includes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that you're able to see behind. You see Tower 1, 2, and 3 and 4. Nice buildings.
So
with the
many
wall.
towers.
Come on.
And all these auditoriums and stuff. I was like, what is this place?
Right, exactly, right. You can code in the room. I think it's important from an exposure standpoint. So, man, talk about what that meant for you from an exposure standpoint. Did that empower you to feel like, man, you can do this yourself? Or like, what did that do for you to be in that space?
The exposure was really good because then we also had one-on-one coaches with someone who's in the field that we're trying to go to. So since I'm a marketing major, I sat down and talked to a marketing professional. So I asked him, what does your day today look like? Like, how do you feel working here? Do you work in person? Are you remote? That type of thing. So that exposure was different because it opened your eyes to basically what your dream is and seeing if it's feasible for you.
Oh, okay.
So I liked it.
Dope.
So, man, this been a dynamic discussion. I know we got to get ready to wrap this thing
part 2
up.
in this.
So we're going to kind of end it with these things because we got to wrap up.
Okay.
Destinee, you an intern now.
Yes.
Right? So you going to be the face behind all the
social media.
all social media.
Let's go.
So if you could just make your pitch to somebody who's considering STS, they're considering getting their child involved in the high school program, the real estate program, our senior program, a college student who like, I need some development. Why STS?
I say why STS is because why not? What do you have to lose? If anything, you have so much to gain from it. You gain coaches, you gain exposure, you gain friends, you gain internships, you gain a whole world outside of your home. So say now they're like, oh, I'm doing good. I'm in college, I'm passing, but you don't have an internship lined up. You don't have somebody who could look at your resume. You don't have somebody who could do mock interviews. You don't have someone who could put you in rooms with people to make those connections. You're not going to 40 under 40. And I did. Like, it's a whole lot of network building, character development, professional development, just you as a whole being who you are.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I do want to, we got to wrap this thing up. I do want to tell my companies, right? She said with international paper, it exposed her and it made her like think, wow, like this could be me. Like companies, that's why we need your partnership.
Yes.
To help us show students that so they can see themselves in your company. And it was a couple hours. So again, for any partners, companies, organizations, help us expose our young people to your world, because we don't want them to have the wrong misconception of what you can offer. And this is the next workforce, all right? But we got to end it with this creed.
Yeah. Well, one, I want to say thank you, Destiny.
Thank you,
I want to say
Destiny.
thank you, man. Destiny, for chasing after your destiny. You know what I'm saying, man? Thank you so much for, man, being a light. Thank you so much for blessing us with the opportunity to have you in our space, in our organization. And we blessed to be able to utilize your services and see your talent from a marketing standpoint. And so we are grateful. We're thankful. Thankful to mama, dad, you know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for letting us borrow for them and dropping off at the U of M. You know
By the
what I'm saying?
railroad tracks.
By the railroad tracks.
And my daddy worked for the railroad. This is the crazy part about it.
Yeah, I think my dad, they know each other.
They do.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Keep being great. We appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing where you go from this journey here. So, do you know the creed?
Do I?
Oh, come on. Then. We're going to follow you then.
Okay.
Let's go.
You ready?
Let's go.
What we coming to do?
Compete.
How we rocking?
With excellence.
I'm a boss.
I got more to
I'm
earn.
a student.
I got more to learn.
I'm a leader.
I got more to change.
How we winning?
On purpose.
Yeah.
Do this.
Subscribe.
Share, and subscribe. We do this.
Do this.
Peace.